Hey, 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 back again for another panel. Um, I'll be here as long as you are, I guess. Ooh, Hurricane Milton, Category 5. Florida orders evacuation. Wow, this is not going to be good. Where's it supposed to hit? Let me see. Tampa Bay. Oh, I have friends down there. Which has not endured a direct hit in more than a century. Oh, they do expect it to weaken slightly before landfall, but that may not make a difference. Damn. Tampa Metro has 3.3 million people. Very exposed, very inexperienced. MIT meteorology professor says. Yikes. Okay. Hey, Daniel Barry, you've been making the rounds today, huh? How's it going? What's up? What's up? I think I might have a tweet or two. Oh yeah, here's one I like. You all realize there's no such thing as white people, no such thing as black people, no such thing as Asian people, no such thing as indigenous people, etc., etc. There is such thing as Cajun people, however. None of these are actual groups. None are cultures. They are massively diverse demographics of different peoples. Yes, this is that shallow thinking that. Oh, yeah, The Matrix. Oh my God. We watched it tonight. What a movie. What an awful, awful movie. What a painful movie to sit through. I've decided that the Matrix is the gateway, that is the threshold between Gen X and millennial. If you can crack the Matrix, you have cracked millennial psychology. I think that the Matrix gives us people who think it's this amazing piece of art and people who can see it for the piece of crap that it is. Basically, Gen X and millennial. So I talked to a few millennials tonight that watched it with us and got their thoughts on it. And the boomers probably couldn't have really made sense of some of our movies, like Slacker, Pump Up the Volume, that kind of stuff. And I think this is the divide, the edge of the chasm between my generation and what came after. And so I'm glad I'm doing this because it's giving me some cultural kind of coordinates to use when I'm. It's easy to factor in things like gender, like women are different than men, and when you're talking to men, it's a different experience when you're talking to women. Are neurotypical, neurodivergent. When I'm talking with autistic people, it's different than trying to talk with neurotypicals. But there's generational cultures gaps as well, and I don't see that. Those are invisible to me. And so stuff like this, going through the art and the movies and the music of the generations, is helping me to realize that there's like psychological different nurture. Just different nurture produces differences, and the millennials had a different cultural nurture than we did. Our movies were different. The the visions they were putting forth were different. The themes, the actual aesthetics. Hey, Busker.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good.
I
How's it go
was
with you?
thinking about yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like every decade, it's like it's like a complete difference, like right off the bat. Like it kind of slides into it at the end of like the '90s, say, or the '80s, or the '70s. So like you can see that it kind of slides into a change, complete change in how Hollywood is doing things. It's just like crazy.
Yeah, it really does. It's remarkable.
Yeah,
I'm
like
I'm
cinema.
finally finding a way to see it and understand it and analyze it.
Yeah. And now, like that, I can't. I haven't found one really good movie that's come out after 2020.
The Barbie movie.
uh,
I'm being serious. I think that's one of the
well,
that's the best movie of the decade. The best post 2020 movie for certain. Of course, I've probably seen about 3 movies total since COVID.
I'm not into Barbies, so
It's you don't have to like Barbie. It's not even about Barbie. It's so post modern. I think it kind of breaks filmmaking and recreates it in a new way.
well, that's interesting. I'll check it out then because I didn't know what the heck it was about. I didn't even care.
It's about everything and nothing. It's there's so much in it that everybody can see their own version of it, their own movie. Like it's all kind of different movies in one movie.
Yeah. Um, I've been watching a show that's just bizarre, man. It's called From From.
FROM.
Oh yeah, and it's really it is kind of scary, and a lot.
Sci-fi horror
Yeah,
series.
it's pretty scary, man. It's like weird, kind of like I don't want to spoil it if you go watch it because you have to go into it not knowing what it's about. That's the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
If I knew anything about it, I probably would get an idea of what it should be about. So I just go into things not knowing what it's about. If I'm
Yeah.
gonna, that's usually when things stick to me when it comes to like entertainment for television or movies, whatever. Is my sound coming through okay?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. I'm looking at the trailer now. It does look kind of good.
Yeah, it is. It is freaky. It's not DEI, and I don't mind this, but there's like black on white women. It's kind of like well, I mean, okay, I can give away that the black character in this had a white wife. Okay, fine, and had a mulatto son who was a part of this show. And then there's another young girl and young black boy who hit it off. It seems like they're hitting it off, but that's where I'm at now. I don't know where it's going to go, but it's just kind of it's still not way too woke. I'll give it
Is
that.
it something like you would need a bell for to watch it with a bell?
Well, like yeah, I mean, not really. No, I mean, it's not. And it's funny, man, because you see like uh, they have like old bitchy women, and then they got you know young, just stupid, like kind of pothead. It's just crazy.
Are any of them black?
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
black women allowed to be bitchy, portrayed as bitchy?
Well, yeah, and actually, they're allowed to be made fun of too
That is progress.
by a white person, and
Wow.
that kind of. I was like, man, that this is like kind of going back in time. It was, but
Back in time where you could make fun of black people.
but like, see, like he's like portrayed as a crazy white dude. So, I mean, and he is literally crazy. And yeah, he plays violin. He's crazy. That's just one of his things. He stole another guy's violin, and he didn't realize it because he thought the guy was dead. You'd have to see it to appreciate it.
So he knew he was taking something that didn't belong to him, but he didn't realize
Yeah, in
that.
this scenario that this is in, it is so weird, man. It's like nothing I've ever seen.
Interesting.
Um, yeah, it's. I don't want to spoil it though. I mean, like I said, I try to myself. I try to go into things not knowing what they're
Yeah, I
about.
like that too. I don't like previews, or even when I'm watching a show on TV and they say like after the commercial break coming up. I hate
Hmm.
it when they show me what's coming up. I want to be surprised.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I got you. And that's the way it should be, I think, because I think more people would enjoy what they're watching and get more out of it, like if they appreciate it more. Or
And it
maybe
it like manipulates how I see the scene. It biases how I'm going to see the scene because
that's
they're
right.
setting up that preview a certain way,
Hmm.
and
Absolutely.
I want to approach the scene unbiased by any preconceived narrative, and
Yeah.
that's what it sets up. And so I want that out of my picture.
And
It
it like
distracts me.
like the one that like when I was very young, I didn't know what this movie was about. It was that River's Edge movie that you watched recently.
Which one?
River's Edge.
Razor's Edge?
River's Edge.
Oh, I watched it the other day. Oh, I had never seen it. Oh my God, what
Yeah,
a
and like it's great.
fantastic movie!
Like if I got it from Blockbuster, like back in the day, like my mom would be like, "Oh, so what did you get?" You know, she wanted to know because she's like going to a Christian church and they're Pentecostal, blah blah blah. And so like she didn't check it because I got it from the library.
Oh, she just trusted.
Yeah, it's one of the most sick movies I ever saw
It was
coming
so
out.
that
What?
is like the beginning of our era. That movie. It captures Generation X so perfectly.
Yeah, man. Like for like metalheads, like they don't throw punk in there, but like the metalhead thing kind of did the job.
It's just a bunch of lost high school kids. Like
Yeah,
all
high
of them.
school. Dude. Yeah,
Every kid in that movie is lost. The whole town is just lost.
exactly. Yeah, like and the mother of Keanu, the character Keanu's character, the mother and the step or the stepfather. I guess I don't know if they're married. Maybe it's the boyfriend of the mother of Keanu's character, and like some of the best lines are from that, like motherfucker, food eater. It's like they're like battling each other, calling each other stupid names, like food eater.
She was the quintessential Gen X mom. Like she
Yeah,
had no idea what to do with these wild kids. She was pulling her hair out.
yeah.
Nobody listened to her when she tried to talk or assert authority. And she was like neurotic and on the verge of a breakdown by the end of the movie with all
That's
the
right,
stuff the kids were putting her through. That is the Gen X mom.
right. I mean, like that. That's like when I saw it. It was I think in the early '90s. I saw it, and that came out in I think 88,
87.
87. Yeah, that's right.
Yep, summer of 87.
And man, once the library started selling off their videotapes that people aren't like renting anymore, so they were selling off that one. I saw it in the whole pile. I was like, oh yeah, dude. So I took it home and all my friends watched it and they fucking loved it, man. They loved it.
It's
All
a
my
good movie.
punk rocker friends loved the fuck out of that.
I'm definitely gonna watch it again. It's gonna take several watchings, but
I
it
thought,
captured the spirit of our generation pretty well. Like the just the nihilism and the but one thing in that movie, and I think this is characteristic of us, the kids were doing their own thing. They were so separate from what the adults were doing. It was just like two different worlds. The adults had their life, the kids had their life, and
yeah,
they had their own world with their own rules, their own social norms. And
I
that
guess.
was very much Gen X. We didn't have a bunch of adults following us around all day, structuring our life.
Well, and then like as the Gen X give birth to millennial, then millennial give birth to Zoomer, then Zoomer gives birth to Alpha, and it just continues to get a
Yeah.
little weirder
I,
and
I'm
weirder.
willing to help to take some responsibility for the millennials, but they're gonna have to worry about the Zoomers. So maybe take whatever we pass on to them
Well,
and use that to help you with the Zoomers.
I won't take responsibility for it. I'll just call it like that's what our generation gave
Well,
birth.
because once they got a hold of our art, they well, actually, I think part of the problem is they didn't because they grew up with some optimism, thinking life was gonna be this Disney
Yes,
movie,
yeah, all
and
right.
then all of that crashed in the 2000s. And Gen X knew better than to like think that in the first place because we grew up with all the darkness, and they must have missed that because if they had watched any of our art,
Oh, I
they
know,
would have
right?
seen what we already knew about life and reality and human nature. So they got their bubble popped, and now they're all lost and don't know what to do. But all they had to do was like take their guidance from us. But they got trapped in the fucking Matrix. That's what happened. And I'm talking about the
Yeah,
movie. The movie, The Matrix, is the Matrix that
yeah,
people need to be freed from.
yeah. I don't like that movie, and every sequel just blew.
I won't even watch the other ones. I could barely get through the first one. That's twice I've watched it now.
It wasn't my type of movie. I don't like those stupid like um those action movies that are done with like digital kind
That's
of.
basically what it is. It's an action movie. It's a fantasy
It was like the
action movie.
early days of digital bullshit that they started adding to television. And that you're right, in movies they started adding that around that time. So it is that kind
A
of
lot of it was like pointless effects to me.
exactly, and like same with the fucking Star Wars remake that like with the fucking Jar Jar Binks.
But it was also the beginning of the tech age, and so that all makes sense because
Yeah, it's just the
the
way it went.
2000s were just around the corner.
Can't complain about it. I mean, it can be good, but when you can tell it's fake, it sucks.
And there's one part of the movie where he's at work and the boss calls him in the office, and the boss is like, "You have you have a choice to make. You have the choice to be at your desk every morning on time, or you have the choice to get terminated from this job and go." And I'm like, yes, that's right. You tell him it's all about choices. That's so Gen X. And then I realized that wait a minute, that's the adult.
Yeah,
The Gen Xers are like the bad guy. They're the adults, and Neo and them are the new. They're not Gen Xers anymore. They're millennials. And the one I was rooting for that was saying all the shit I would say was the office boss, and that's not the youth figure in the shows anymore. So that was like me, aged as a Gen Xer, and these were a completely different set of kids with a different psychology.
yeah, like that. Well, the boomers are like that. They're the ones that were calling the shots for the Gen Xers, and then Gen Xers did their own thing for the millennials.
And we're now their boomers, and instead of like complaining about the
I
fucked up
know,
world we
right?
left this, they're complaining about why didn't we, like we were supposed to do something for them, like we were the lost generation. What did we do other than be lost? Like what did we leave them? So we didn't create the world that the boomers created, but we didn't do anything to help them get out of it. And I think we did. I think that wasn't what our goal. Our goal was to learn to live within it,
Yeah,
despite it, in a very healthy way. And that's what we did, and that's what we can still offer them. But they don't want that. They want this utopia. That's another thing the Matrix brings forth is that concept of Zionism and finding a better world or perfect. Gen X didn't have that stuff. We weren't looking for anything transcendent at all. We were just trying to survive and thrive in the world as it was. And the millennials want some kind of transcendence or salvation or better world that they feel like we failed to help them achieve and that the boomers prevented them from completely.
hmm. Yeah,
But
no,
that's a millennial expectation because it we didn't have that. So if y'all have that, that's on y'all. We can
uh,
help you in other ways, but we didn't. try to give you a different world. We didn't think that there was a different world. We learned how to live in the world as it was. And I'll tell you what happened. Computers came along. And that is your world. That was not our world. So you have to figure out the cyber, the digital, the computer side of it, and figure out how to use that to make your utopia. That's not what Gen X was ever trying to do.
Yeah. As on a whole, yeah, that was
So they
never.
have to lead there. They have the tools.
Yeah, dude, I miss being a young Gen Xer, dude. I gotta say, but I was one of the end of uh, wait a minute. The end of Gen X is when I was born. I was born 79, July
And
22nd.
that's the technical Gen X. It just goes by the birth rates. But cultural Gen X, I think, is much broader.
Yeah,
And
because
culturally, you're definitely Gen X.
there's like I hung out with millennials like all the time when I was, just a young Gen Xer, and like we weren't too much different. It's just like we kind of like were into the same shit. So then like I guess the society just changes, like just alters.
It did. They
It,
got there was a screen to sit in front of and live on
yeah,
instead of in person stuff. And they had 9/11 and the economic collapse. And so their whole world, they got hit with a lot of stuff at a young age that made them think differently than we did about the world.
yeah,
Of
I'm
course,
sure.
we were already cynical enough. Like we didn't need all of that because we were already living in a world where that kind of stuff was normal or could happen at any time. So I don't think it. We never. Gen X didn't grow up with this fake bubble that life eventually popped, and that's what happened with the millennials. They grew up with this like tech optimism, and they had a bubble that got popped, and they're recovering from like the trauma and disappointment that comes from that. And Gen X never had to go through that because we never had any false hopes to begin with.
I can kind of see it. It's kind of maybe parallel, but in my nephew's like my nephew wanted to make video games, right? That and he went to college for it, but he's not doing that. He's doing something else. It pays okay, but then also the older brother of that nephew was going to be an artist, and he did a lot of really really good art. Now he's just uninstalling like furniture and stuff that's built into houses. So he doesn't do what he used to do, and he's losing that. He doesn't really play with him. Oh yeah, yeah. It's kind
Is
of
he
sad.
happier doing the furniture, or does he want to do
Well, that's
the?
that's what he has to do it because that's his job, and like it's the way it is. I mean, but like he didn't really put any real effort into following his what his original goal was. Neither did the younger brother. And that's sad, but that's the way it goes. I mean,
Well, I mean, I guess that was up to them how much effort they put into
yeah,
something.
I know it's just sad to see them like be so into something and then just drop it. I'm kind of
Yeah,
like a little
that
bit
that happens.
affected by that a little bit because all through COVID and the years following, kind of a couple years, I was like, I think I told you I was teaching my nephew to play Cajun accordion. He got really fucking good considering, and he just kind of gave up on it. And that's what happens when you get a girlfriend you live with. I knew when they were going to live together that was going to end. That's how when I lived with my girlfriend, she had to deal with it, man. She had to deal with me sitting in the bathroom blasting that loud fucking thing. But I didn't give a shit. That was my thing. I was like, this is my new thing. I'm going to do it. And it's nice and loud in this bathroom. Plus, I'm hard of hearing in my right ear. So this accordion is very good for my ears, but from others' ears, I don't know how loud this accordion is. Like even with my windows closed, you might be able to hear it down the street. His newer accordion was definitely louder. His new model build. So do you ever get down to Eunice ever? Do you visit?
No, they've all moved to the cities. Like they either died off or moved to the cities.
You like
There's hardly
Lafayette?
it's all that area is like some of those little dying towns that are happening all over the country
Yeah.
as people shift to the suburbs, the exurbs, the herbs.
Yeah, man. It was kind of like I remember when we were on the Mardi Gras wagon going through Eunice. I remember going seeing all the people that not that many, but people that were outside just watching the run, and they're just out in their backyards or whatever. And I'm looking at them thinking, this it's not going to last long. It's going to change. I mean, yeah, it's like a lot of people just moved to Lafayette. Musicians moved to Lafayette from Munich.
Yeah, that's where the center of gravity is.
Yeah.
That's been happening my whole like even when I was a kid, I could see things gradually shifting that way.
Hmm.
People were getting closer and closer, moving closer and closer to Lafayette because
Yeah.
that's where everything was, and that was back before the internet.
Yeah.
So they
Well,
had the big mall, and they had the university, and all the shopping, and all the band. They had the Cajun Dome, so all the concerts would come, and that's gradually there was just more and more to do in the city, and less reason to live away from it.
yeah, I remember when me and Wilson Sabois and Cedric Watson went down to where we were in Lafayette, and because Wilson lived there, and like we went and we were busking just to make enough money for a pizza, and we managed to do that. And that was one of the funnest times ever. But that was towards the end of my stay there. But I was so wrecked from all the booze and, well, not really pot, but the booze mostly, and the MS that I didn't realize I had. And uh,
Oh, so you were drinking the whole time
yeah, man,
and
like
not
on the
aware.
wagons, like I was drinking hardcore, man. I would drink like a freaking fifth of whiskey the night before, and then next day we get up like for the Mardi Gras run at fucking 5:30 a.m. to get there at 6. So like
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you're not used to
no, man,
that
I
lifestyle.
thought I was with the punk rock scene, but man, I had no clue, man. I was like, whoa. But you know what? I wanted to go along with it, but I think I might have said like I didn't have anything to dress up in, so I think Wilson didn't want me to go. And I'm like, dude, I came out here to do this, man. I was still drunk. And I mean, fucking only had like a half an hour of sleep after partying all night. And yeah, those are some good times, man. Like, as much as I shouldn't be able to remember it, I remember every single good part of that trip down to Louisiana. I wonder if there's any. I guess there might not be any video from that year,
I
2000.
was about to say I have. There's one I'm looking for. I think I have it somewhere. It's old footage from like the 70s of.
Oh, the Mardi
Is
Gras
this it?
run.
Maybe I think I found it. Hang on. Um,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
classic.
1975.
Wow.
This is some vintage foot. I wish we could
Oh
play it on
man,
here.
dude. Well, who's in the video? Is it a bunch of people that are famous? Oh no.
I might even be in it. I might be one of the little because they used to dress up the kids. The two holidays that you got to dress up were Halloween and Mardi Gras, and
Yeah,
we get so excited because we get to plan our costumes.
yeah,
And they would put the kids. We dress up like in Halloween costumes, like hobos, or they'd paint our face or something, and they would put us in the horse trailer, and we would ride behind the Mardi Gras that would be on horseback, and they would stop at the houses and chase the chicken and get the chicken for the gumbo, and the kids would get out of the horse trailer and dance, and then
yeah.
we'd get back in the horse trailer when it was time to go to the next house, and that was the kids part of the Mardi Gras, and so that's what we did, and I was around there in '75, so I could very well be one of the kids running around in this video if there are any.
Does it? Doesn't say who made it or anything or.
Let's see, it's TV produced the documentary The Good Times Are Killing Me
Oh
about
yeah,
the
I
people
see.
they met in the towns of Basile, Mamou, and Eunice, Louisiana. The video documented the old culture and way of life, including the traditional Courir de Mardi Gras, or Mardi Gras run.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, that's where I found. I posted the link in the back chat.
Oh my God,
Um,
I know the album "The Good Times Are Killing Me" by Nathan
I didn't
Asher.
know it was part of a larger documentary. I want to try to find the whole documentary. I collect Cajun documentaries.
Yeah, man, it's like sorry, um, the wow, yeah, Cajun Country, 1975. Wow. Yeah, and you can hear the I can hear the accordion sound that it sounds
Oh
like.
my God, I found it. All right,
Was
I'm watching it. I
the
might even watch it
where
tonight.
the whole thing?
Um, yeah, it's an hour. It's called The Good Times Are Killing Me.
Where'd
It's
you
a
find?
documentary on the area of the country I grew up in at about the time that I was a young kid. So, um, I don't think I've seen this one. I am so excited.
Yeah, so you found the whole version of it.
Yeah.
Was it all?
So that footage I just showed you, apparently it's from this larger documentary, and I'm so excited. I might go watch it tonight in the Discord.
I'm gonna copy save this. I'll send it to myself on Facebook because otherwise it'll get lost. Um, yeah, thanks for finding that, dude.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for talking about it. I had no idea there was all this additional footage.
In fact, I'll
This is
just
my
send it.
roots. This is where I come from. If you have any complaints about me, blame it on these people. This is where I come from. This was my nurture.
Oh Lord.
Not only was I Gen X, which was very similar, I was Cajun Gen X. It's like the extra spicy version of Gen
Extra
X.
spicy, yeah, dude.
I remember I was watching a Joplin documentary on Netflix, and she lived in East Texas, just across the state line. And she would talk about how they would go to Louisiana to like go to the bars there and play, listen to the shows and play in the shows, but that she was always scared to go and cross the state line because the Cajuns were so mean. Like she had a good time, but she just talked about how mean the Cajuns were, and I'm like, oh no,
Oh, shit.
Janis Joplin thinks we're mean,
And you're like, I thought she was the badass.
right? But she was scared of the Cajuns, so
Fucking hell,
but
man.
I guess we have a reputation,
Wow, dude.
raw and fierce.
Yeah, man. And like that's culture, man. That's your culture. And that's
Yeah, I love my culture. I'm a Cajun supremacist. I think my culture is superior to any other culture.
sorry, this thing.
If I reincarnate, I want to come back as a Cajun.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, you're a Cajun now, but you want to
I
come
want to
back.
do it again. I'm not ready to.
Are you gonna be a?
That's what I'm saying. It spoils you. There's no other culture I want to live in now. Growing up that way.
Yeah, dude. It is like I can see like it's such a great culture, man. Just being around those you guys, like musicians and stuff, and just
The
hanging
key to
around.
Cajun life is joie de vivre, the joy of life.
Yeah,
We live for the moment. We live for like what's the maximum amount of life and joy and experience. We're not worried about the future or the politic, government, all that. We are very in the moment. And
Exactly.
life is for living, and life is for enjoying and savoring, and that is the essence of our culture.
Yeah, and kind of eat some strange foods, but yeah,
Yeah, there's the
like the
and the
cow
strange
brain is
foods.
like you were telling me about that one. Oh man.
We start when we were in Nova Scotia before we even became Cajun. We started the first social club in North America. It was called L'Ordre de Bon Temps, the Good Time Club, and it was like a pleasure club for gentlemen. They had big banquets and stuff, and we would invite the Indians, and the Indians would come and like participate, and we'd all dance
Cool.
together and tell stories and have a good time. We started that.
Yeah. Okay. So like, yeah, that's why I every time I hear about Cajun culture in a documentary, they talk about the Indians mixed in with you guys too.
That's one reason they kicked us out because we had such good relations with the Indians and the indigenous people
Oh,
that
really?
it
I
made
didn't
them
know.
nervous. Like these were Europeans, but they get along better with the Indians than they do the French
I
or
wonder
the
if that
British.
was that part of the reason you guys were exiled, do you think?
Yeah, part of it probably
Um,
part of
wow.
it was like we were a strategic threat because we refused to swear an oath to the British. And
Yeah,
that made him nervous. And then we were tight with the Indians, and that made him nervous. And we had
that
developed all the land, and it was some of the best land in that part of the world. And so
yeah,
they had their eye on that. So there were all kind of incentives to get us out of there. It was probably going to happen sooner or later. It just took the right leader at the right time, and they got this new governor, and boy, he was ready to do some damage. He went in there just savoring this opportunity. And so he was really, in fact, he tried to get permission for the king to do it, and the king told him no, but he didn't. That's when they had to send letters across the ocean, and
hmm.
he didn't even wait for the king's reply, and he went and did it anyway. So the king actually didn't even authorize it. This guy went on
Oh,
his own and
he
just,
was just about tired of waiting for the
yeah,
ship.
he's like,
Oh
I'll
no.
ask permission, but I'm not going to wait for it.
Oh
And
man.
that's why we got our apology from Queen Elizabeth, like this in my lifetime.
Wow.
They call it an apology. It was more of an acknowledgement. Like, yes, we acknowledge this happened. How
Yeah,
unfortunate. But I wouldn't say it was a full throated apology. But at least
exactly.
we got them to acknowledge that, yes, they did this fucked up thing.
Exactly, man. I mean, like, that's the least you can expect. I mean, for like the best you can expect.
And you know what? That's a perfect example. Like the woke and stuff, that happened to us. It was like 1655, I believe. I mean 1755. It was before the American Revolution. We don't have this lifelong, oh my God, we're oppressed by the British, we hate British people are trying to keep us down, look at all this traumatic history. It happened to us.
Yep,
We dusted ourselves off.
yep,
We created our own culture despite that, and
that's
we're thriving where we settled, and it didn't stop us from. So I don't understand this like victim mentality of, oh, at one time white people treated it this way. That doesn't mean you have to carry on that history through all the generations. The Cajuns didn't.
spot on, man. Spot
Hey,
on.
Vinny, I love British people and Canadians
Yeah, like, I have no problem with them at all. I mean, it's not like we're in those times now, so I got no problem with them.
because that's taught. That would be like if our parents and our teachers taught us
Exactly,
as an
exactly.
early kid, this is what the British did to you, and if you ever see a
Yep.
British person, they hate you and they're out to get you.
Indoctrination.
They didn't teach us that.
Yeah, it wasn't indoctrination
Right,
bullshit.
it's exactly indoctrination.
Yeah, it's
It
fucking.
keeps that hate going. That was historical shit. That happened. Nobody involved is even alive anymore. Like, there's no reason to carry that to the present day. This is a
It,
chance to move on.
you're absolutely correct, my friend. And it makes me sick to see all these quote unquote victims that have nothing to be victim hoodie about.
No,
It's a word.
no. I think they do it for power. It's like all they've got to try to get some kind of power.
Yep.
But it's a power play more than anything
And
legitimate or sincere.
narcissism, exuding narcissism and power play. That you're
Yeah,
right.
it's will to. It's the same will to power they criticize in everybody else. They're just criticizing that they're not the one that got the power.
That's right. Oh man, this pot I've got has seeds in it. It tastes like popcorn.
Oh,
There's a seed in this bud. Oh
oh.
no. Yeah, it is what it is. But outdoor stuff does taste a little strange, man. I gotta tell you that. Um, if it's grown out where the rain is, it kind of does have a different metallic flavor to it.
Mm.
I gotta say.
Y'all
Uh,
can grow there.
yeah, you can grow in Maryland. I think you can only grow so much, but then again, who's gonna pay attention?
Well, you should be able to, at least in Maryland. It
Yeah,
is called marijuana.
yeah,
Just
right. Well, like I think there might be a limit on. I might that might have changed because I think at first there was a limit on how much you could grow, but I never tried it. I tried it when I was younger, but I never tried it when it was legal, and or for medical use. And that's what it was for years until it became legal altogether in Maryland. And it's a strange phenomenon. Do you ever toke the bud?
oh yeah.
What's your favorite strain?
I don't know. I don't have particular strains, but I go for the hybrids, like the sativa. Leaning. I don't like it too strong,
Yeah,
but not too sleepy.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, like this sativa hybrids or what's that? Like a 80-20 or 70-30 sativa
Yeah,
lean.
something, or
Yeah.
even a 60-40 sometimes.
Yeah, 60-40. In fact, that's what I'm smoking right now is a 60-40. But I'd rather it be 60-40 sativa than indica, you know? Like indica, it just it doesn't help my MS at all when it comes to walking.
Does CBD do anything?
Uh, Not really. It doesn't. I mean, it might help me sleep. I
Mm.
think the mixture, like when you get CBD strains, like I used to love them when I first started smoking cultivator cannabis, and that's I had this stuff that was Willie's Reserve, and it was I guess Willie Nelson capitalized on his name, so he opened Willie's Reserve or whatever somehow, or maybe somebody else opened it for him. But man, that was my favorite CBD strain. It's like low THC and much higher CBD, and that I love that when it comes to CBD. That's what I like, a good CBD strain, a good mixture, the the whole shebang. And CBG is cool, man. There's so many miraculous things I've found with this because I don't know if you've heard of CBG, right? It's like as in George, it's cannabigerol, right? It for me, and what I've read even before I found out. All right, so I'm thinking, all right, so this might be TMI, but my MS has it so my bladder retains urine and doesn't want to let it out no matter what, unless whatever. But then, so smoking marijuana with low CBG, and I've figured out the levels years later. But that's once I figured it out, like I found that was the only thing that helped me urinate. Period, and it still is
Oh,
the only real thing that helps me urinate. And the CBG, that is good for people who have well, it's good for me. At least I feel this way, and I've read about it, and like, yeah, CBG is good for your prostate. And if you can read that, and then experience it, then you kind of know it. Because I don't have to pee myself when I go out, and that's my prostate having issues. So I don't. I guess you don't have that. People are getting it younger and younger. I guess
Are you
I.
talking about like what's they call it? Hyperplasia, prostate,
That's a good
the
question, man.
enlarged prostate.
I'm diagnosing myself, but I know exactly what happens with it. Like you have to get up from your sleep all the time. You can't go to sleep without having to get up, and then it's a hazard trying to get to the bathroom as it is. And so like I could talk and complain all day long about all night long about this shit, but I won't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too much. And I don't care if Mr. Frankie doesn't like me or not.
Oh, stop! He didn't even come around here. Don't start that up again.
Yeah, it's just making fun of me for my issues.
He's a troll. What do you
Well,
expect? He's doing his trolling.
I curse that troll to have at least a day of what I'm dealing with, and then he'll learn his fucking lesson. I'll tell you that. That's just the way I feel.
No, I have. Yeah, I completely understand.
Yeah, thank you.
I would.
I do appreciate
In
that.
fact, when people come at me for any like my stuff, I attack back too. I don't like
Yeah,
it.
man, I'm sorry I set you off that one night when I said simmer down to you.
Yeah, that usually doesn't go well for anybody. It just happened to be you that night.
Yeah, sorry about that, brother. Uh, but like it's water under the bridge, man. Shit.
Oh yeah, I hear it enough times that I recover pretty quickly.
Yeah, I figured, if I thought you'd have an opposite reaction, I never would have gotten back on because, but I kind knew what you were like, so I knew getting back on wouldn't be a problem. I waited
Well,
a while.
now, oh, I need a thank you. You reminded me. I need to announce our we have new drama rules. Um, it's contempt of court
Yeah.
citation. So if you get kicked off of a panel, I'm gonna start it at $5. It might go up to 10. For $5, you can buy a second chance, 1 second chance
Wow,
to
dude.
get back on that
Wow.
day.
Then
It resets the next day. So if you get kicked off and you can wait till the next day, you can come back on for free. But if you
yeah,
absolutely are burning to get on that night, $5, contempt
yeah,
of drama court, because you
that's
probably got kicked off for violating one of my drama rules.
that's
And
a
so if you're
perfect
trying to sneak in drama, out. And
that's a
if you want to
perfect
come back in, you got to pay the $5 fine.
yeah, dude. That's like fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, I think that'll. So now when people get kicked off of panels for not like taking my guidance of how I'm trying to make the conversation go, they have recourse. They have options.
Yeah.
But you
And
only
like
get it once. There's no third chance. If there's a third chance, those are going to be very expensive. But I'm going to do second chances for $5. I'll start them
oh,
at five. See how that
shit.
works.
Oh man,
A,
that's too
a
much.
do-over.
Yeah. Insane in the membrane. That's another one thing of the '90s. That
Yeah,
'90s.
I was about to say. Let me look it up. That was Cypress Hill, huh?
Yeah, I
They used to
remember.
play it at the gay bars for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I remember. That's where I remember hearing it. Standing around the gay bar while "Insane in the Membrane" was playing.
Wow. I guess yeah. It could be because it's counterculture in a way.
Maybe so, because it was one bar and all the cultures had to share it, so they played a little bit of each group's music. And on Wednesdays, they would let me and my friends, because nobody went, they would let me and my friends go and take over the DJ booth, and we would bring all of
Oh hell
our
yeah, dude.
industrial and gothic music, and we would play whatever songs we wanted. We had the
Hell
whole dance
yeah.
floor to ourselves.
Yeah,
It was
man.
1993, Cypress Hill.
Dude, you've heard of, what who Ministry is, right?
Yeah. In fact, I forgot to listen to it today. They have a new album, and
Really?
supposedly it's really, really good, but it's super fucking woke.
Oh
It's
no!
all about toxic masculinity and
Oh
systemic oppression and
God!
but so I want to hear it for the music, but I'm going to see if I could get through the lyrics. Maybe the AI could put Eminem's lyrics on Ministry's music.
Did you? Oh God! You ever heard of a band called Palehead? P
Palehead.
A I L Head. It's this
Wait,
band,
say it again.
Palehead. It's
Like,
one word, and it's this band that the singer was the singer of
oh, it's
Minor
a side
Threat.
project of Al Jorgensen.
Yeah, and it's
Oh, and Minor Threat. Wow, no, I've
Ian,
never heard of this.
uh Ian Mackay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, it's fucking awesome, man. I love it. I mean, there's not a whole lot of lyrics in it, but the lyrics that are in it just like hit home.
They have just one album. It looks like they just have some
Yeah, it was just kind of
EPs.
like one album. I think an album full of EPs, maybe. Um, or made of, maybe, I don't know.
Oh, and it was late '80s too. It's very
That's right.
that's that first phase of Gen X music, and I think like Kurt Cobain starts a new phase with the '90s grunge, like the more commercialized grunge, the mall grunge,
And
as
then you had
opposed to
like,
the underground grunge.
and then it like industrial music was popularized by what, that guy from Nine Inch Nails.
Oh yeah, Trent Reznor.
That
And I'd say probably Ministry too. That album, I don't know if it was their first or their second. It's the one from 1988. That's one of my favorite albums from that time period.
oh, is it Jesus Built My Hot Rod?
Let me look it up. I know the cover, but I don't know the name. I think it's the one with this like that white silhouette just spread
Oh
out on the
yeah,
black
dude.
background.
The mind is a terrible thing to
I
taste, I
think
think.
that's it.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, The Land of Rape and Honey. Sorry,
Oh
that's the
yeah,
one.
okay. So
And
that's
then the other one is Came After.
that. Yeah, that might have been the one I'm thinking of, but I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
this was all the same time as Sonic Youth, the Pixies. That's what Nirvana was listening. In fact, '88 is when they started putting out their first stuff too. So this was when Nirvana was. This was the scene that everybody was listen like college rock, alternative rock, whatever, underground rock, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, you mentioned the Pixies. That show I was talking about called From. It starts out with a song by the Pixies, but it's Pixies like much more recent.
Oh, which one?
They do this song called, well, you heard of it, Que Sera Sera, right? So
Oh,
it's,
right, they did that cover. I didn't know it was from that TV show. I saw they had put out the single.
yeah, I heard that and I was like, man, I'm digging this, man. It's like it's kind of like creepy and it's beautiful at the same time.
Maybe YouTube has a clip of it. Let's see.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure it does. Yeah.
From opening Que Sera Sera. Yeah, they do. I'm gonna take a look at that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's got the opening part to it, like the whole. I always thought that was cool watching it. It's
Are
only
you
had.
talking about movies, Fatty? Stigmata is a great movie. It's one of my favorite. Like, well, I don't want to spoil it. It's a really good movie. Um,
I have to go
is
back.
Neurosis a
Uh,
movie? I don't think I've heard of that one. Although it seems like I should have. Oh, because it's a new movie.
I've never heard about that.
It just came out this year. Let me take a look. In fact, there's not even a Wikipedia article on it. That's weird.
Shit.
Tyrell, a CEO, gets mysterious calls revealing secrets. He must make life or death choices under pressure. Oh no, not more choices. That's another thing that was so artificial about the Matrix to me. I'm going to give you the truth of the universe, Neo, but first, you have to make a choice. If you want the truth, take this pill. If he could have just, he's gonna take the truth. Like, why the little pill ritual? It was so dumb and unnecessary.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like okay, you're trying to be artsy.
Yes, that was. See, thank you, Gen X. Oh, see, Gen Xers get it. We're seeing the Matrix from this side, and the millennials are seeing it from this side, and it's two
Right.
different experiences.
Yeah, dude, like I just cannot stand it. I tried to watch it. I just cannot watch it.
Oh, I feel validated. And we talked about this, that my one of the most interesting scenes to me was when all the little kids are in that kitchen and they're eating that gruel. And those are all the real humans. They're freed from the matrix. That's their real life people. And they're having this philosophical conversation about how do the machines know that we know what this tastes like to simulate and I'm like, that is so Gen X. First of all, these kids look Gen X, and they're sitting around having random philosophical conversation over nothing. That's exactly the type of stuff we did. That was the most relatable part of the whole movie, because
Hey guys.
nobody else, none of the people had personalities. They were so colorless and hollow. They went out of their way to suppress any individuality whatsoever or personality. The only scene where that shone through even a little bit was that breakfast scene. Hey, Vinny,
Hey guys.
what
What's
is
up,
up?
bro?
Salute. Greetings and salutations.
That's not Italian. How do Italians say it?
Salute.
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 I would want a salad. In fact, you're making me hungry.
Yeah, you will go in.
Salad. That's salada, huh? Ensalada.
Salad.
Salute. I'll just go in and say, hi, give me a salad. Salute ensalata.
Salad. Hold the
Stigmata.
tomato. Salad. Hold the
Tomato.
tomato.
Man, I've been watching this guy called the LA Beast, and he eats all this crazy shit. And he always says, I guess he says it jokingly, but he's like, "Bon appetite." It's like, wait a minute, are you trying to combine?
Like his stick line or something like that?
What's that?
Like his shtick line?
Yeah, it kind of is like at the very beginning. He's
Yeah.
like, when he's about to eat food, he's bon appetite.
Bon appetit.
But I don't even think that really is a term, is it? I mean, bon appetite.
Bon appetit. That's like having who's duvers. Or hors d'or. Hors d'oeuvres.
And like I know French is bon appetit, but like I don't know about.
That Julia would say that, huh? Bon appetit.
Only with the rum. I got a lot of rum and not so much pudding.
Yeah, a little more sherry.
She was like so stiff, like.
And wasn't she a spy or something? Or she invented something? Let me see. There's some legend about her.
So it's Italian and not French, or is it both? When you say bon appetit, you say enjoy your food, right? So
I say just you serve it to him, musket, and then
mustard.
sorry.
Oh yeah, she made the shark repellent.
Hey, 1 a.m. Give me a. Yeah, I just serve it to him. I say, now choke on it.
Oh no!
I know a guy in my neighborhood, tough guy, tough restaurant. He serves broken leg of lamb.
Oh no!
Broken leg.
Is that like where the marrow is inside the meat?
You order a leg of lamb, it's coming broken. Past his option.
And you could just kind of munch on the splinters.
Yeah, I'll take a side of termites to finish this off with.
Oh my God.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, yeah. I was thinking when you guys were talking about the insane in the membrane group. What's the name? Again?
Cypress Hill.
Yeah, one of my favorite songs is that. I don't even know the name of it if it's right, but I think it's "Get Stones." You gotta get ready, go get ready.
I don't know if that's.
Is it called "Gotta Get Ready"?
I don't know, but it has like that horn to it, and it goes. You gotta get ready, gotta get ready.
I'm not sure if that's Cypress Hill, but
No, it is because it's the same guy with that voice. He goes inside in the bird.
oh no shit. Okay, so I thought that was a different band.
Yeah, it's a real slow. It's like a dun, 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 and then it has a little guitar riff to it.
Is it
Wow,
on Want to Get High?
that's why I thought it was on a different
Maybe.
or a different band, something. Because that's totally not
They
like
When
are
the
a
shit
very
goes
recognizable group when you start to hear like
When the
the
shit
first-
goes down. That's
it. That's it, Jeff.
yeah.
When the shit goes down, you gotta get ready.
That's Gen X. That's so Gen X.
But the beginning of it, like the first intro of it, it hooks you. Well, it hooks me. Like the first 10 seconds of that song, you just know you're in for a good time with that one.
I'm gonna pull that up too. In fact, I'm gonna pop it in the.
You gotta get ready. That's what they're singing in Florida right now on I-75 going north.
Jesus.
Cypress Hill. All right, I'm
When
gonna
the
play
shit
these.
goes down, get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of Dodge, man.
It was so funny, guys. I was watching on the Weather Channel. All the cars are going north, less traffic coming south. And I'm like, why don't you, the obvious thing is it should be one lane going south, everybody going fucking north. So I saw this guy in a dually truck just, in the background of the camera. And I'm watching. He just pulls the fuck out. It just starts hitting the grass. It just starts flying north right on the shoulder. I said, and then he did it. And I said to myself, watch. Now everybody's going to do it. And sure as shit, everybody just jumped on that. All you saw was dust driving by all these, sitting still cars and shit.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck if the cops like even try to bust them because I doubt they would.
Yeah, and and I thought to myself too, let alone the gas stations being out of gas. How the fucking all these people get their cars charged if they're all fucking electric? So that's why I always say easy on the electric vehicles out there, ladies and gentlemen, because you don't even have enough fun. You can't even get the gas right. These people will be dying on the highway.
The craziest shit, man. The fucking salt water makes the lithium batteries explode big time.
Uncle Fatty, exactly. That's Ron D. Blosantis' theme song.
What is when the ship goes? Oh,
For him, it'll actually be when his ship goes down.
Oh shit, man, that's kind of bad. But
yeah,
that's what it is.
Pirate of this ship. You better start putting on his Jimmy Buffett and start sailing down to Key West, there, Ronnie.
Man, yeah, it's pretty damn bad, man. I've been watching footage of this shit, man. It's kind of traumatizing watching it.
I think it's going to throw a curveball at him. I think it's going to do something a little different than what they're thinking.
When is it supposed to hit?
It hadn't even passed Cancun yet. You know what I mean? It seems to me it wants to suck down, a little further to that tip of Cancun before they think it makes the trajectory. If it stays on the path, I'm thinking Havana. Ooh, Havana, na, blah, 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 blah. It's going to smack Havana, it looks like. That's what I think. Yeah. Gonna need some new.
Let me see if I can get the. Oh, you're right. It hasn't even crossed.
Yeah.
The tip of Cancun yet.
It's not gonna till Wednesday, I think. Supposedly.
I think the hurricane took a stop and is sitting at a hotel in Cancun, getting gumada.
Right. It just pauses for a bit before it goes on its.
Yeah, he's got the other hurricanes and shit. Milton's, I heard he's a
but
Milton
if he keeps on this track, Miami's going to be in his path.
Busker, I think he's, he likes to get wet, this Milton, I heard. He likes to blow and and he's really wet.
Oh, shit. He's wetting his pants.
He's wet and he keeps turning left, but he goes in circles. He's a counterclockwise asshole.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, Cancun. Yeah, Cancun, Mexico, Uncle Fatty. Don't you know your geographical locations? Ted Cruz is probably good. I won't even say that. Maybe it's gonna go right to fucking Mar-a-Lago. Maybe he's got reservations for Mar-a-Lago.
There you go.
Late Wednesday or early Thursday, if it
You know,
is when it's
Yep,
supposed to hit Florida. So we still got a few
that's the
days.
last I heard too.
they said, Milton said that fuck it. I tried one guy in Butler, didn't happen. I tried another guy in his golf course hiding an AK whatever and golf hole number 4. That didn't work. He said, "Oh, well, you got to do it.
We're
You
gonna
want to
have to,
you want the job to be done right. You got to do it yourself." And he
yep,
said, "Well, I'm just going to
get
take a
the
nice
weather control device out.
I'm going to take a nice tourist look and stop at Cancun before I got to go wreck Florida." Oh yeah, that's going to be wild because now you think it's less than a month from the election,
Yep.
and Florida's going to get whacked. I mean,
And they're already dealing with North Carolina.
All the swing states are gonna get fucked.
Milton's going to take that spray tan right the fuck off Trump's big orange face.
Oh, right. I forgot he was down there.
When it hits Mar-a-Lago, the ocean tide is going to turn orange.
That is funny, I guess. I gotta say. That is humorous.
A vote for Trump, I heard, let alone the bag of Cheetos he's going to throw in. He's going to throw in a life jacket as well.
Doesn't vote me. I haven't voted since fucking
Life jackets for
2004.
everybody.
Cheetos,
It'll
hair
be
dye.
amazing while you're bobbing around while your house is fucked and you're floating around like a bobblehead, and you could just eat your Cheetos right out of the pockets of my new Trump design life jackets.
Trump designed life jacket. Oh shit.
Yeah, it'll be in the shape of his fish lip movement. He goes, he's Chinese. You know, when he pushes
Yeah.
his lips.
Oh yeah.
That'll be the shape of the life jacket. It'll be like one of those old fashioned ones, like one of those old blow up toys that you wear like a hula hoop, and you just jump in.
Oh man. Yeah.
And then actually it'll come with an MP3, and you press the button as soon as you inflate it. It'll go, when the shit go down, you gotta get ready. And that's it. And you jump in the water. Actually, you don't have to jump. The water's coming to you.
Yeah, unfortunately, man, it really sucks for all these people, dude. It's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But I don't live there, so I'm glad.
Yeah.
And
I
don't
mean,
want
it
buddies
is what it
with-
is. I mean, what can you do? I mean, just be glad it's just that and not like a fucking major like volcano or earthquake.
Yeah. And
You
the
know?
people down there are very resilient. They know how to ride and survive these things.
Yeah, I don't have any friends, but like as far as the hurricane shit, except for the people in Louisiana, they experienced it, but not as bad as Katrina, nothing like that. But like, there's people in New York that are dealing with all the illegals that have been tucked in there.
There are still some homes that haven't even been like really dealt with since Sandy.
That is disgusting.
Yep.
Jesus, Mary and Jesus.
So the ground is really wet in Florida because I heard they had been having a lot of rain.
When
and
was
so this
Sandy?
is really going to be,
Sandy was like a century ago. It was like
2011.
Yeah.
2011. They called it a superstorm because it didn't reach the certain category number for insurance purposes. I feel, my opinion only, they instead of calling it a hurricane, they called it a superstorm. So that falls into different policies of your insurance coverage on your home.
I didn't know that.
Little
Holy
bastards.
shit.
Yeah, if you look it up, they call it a superstorm Sandy instead of a fucking hurricane. Idiots.
Dude,
because they knew they were going to pay out their ass. So what are they going to do about this one?
So like it became like a household term, Superstorm Sandy.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was weird, man, because I remember that thing. It made a hook, and then Sandy Hook happened. No shit.
That's right. Even I'll throw in a bag of the small mini sizes of Cheetos, and that'll keep you going while you're waiting for the Coast Guard that'll never come for you while you're floating around in Tampa Bay. And while you're out there freezing and starving, I'll be playing my golf holes.
Yeah, it's that's the size of it with that asshole.
Those people don't care about nothing. Right now, they're shitting their pants. I could see it in their face. They put this one guy from like some Office of Emergency Management over there by like one of their radar stations down there. This guy looked like he had the fear of God in his eyes. Like, holy shit, I actually have to be responsible in my title of this job.
Oh man.
You know, he just looks like was like,
Yeah, like he's like,
deer in
oh,
headlights.
wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. You got to look at live coverage, Jeff, of pull up one of the traffic cams, northbound I-75 live traffic cam, and we could watch it and we could see all these people hitting because they're all sitting on their brake lights.
Oh yeah, that'd be
The
interesting.
whole
What's northbound what?
northbound Interstate 75 live traffic cams, and you should probably get an array of them and just get a nice clear one. You'll see how these people
Is this
are.
in Florida?
Yeah. So and then it's funny because then we could talk and pick it out live, and you can say, "All right, this guy in the just like how I saw that guy in the dualies," you know, because don't forget these people are having accidents.
How can this be a live cam if it's broad daylight?
Well, then it's not live. You should see a lot of brake lights. It should be a nighttime cam.
Then this is.
Yeah, it's nighttime.
Hang on, let me try to
now.
find something live.
That's when I saw that guy just, because people, like if they're not paying attention, and even though you're not going anywhere, just to move up those 2 extra spots, and that guy, and then that next lane guy notices that your guy's sleeping, who's in front of you. You know what I mean? And you that bastard, you let somebody in. And meanwhile, nobody's going anywhere anyway. But
Shit.
or the merger, they just want to keep merging. Slowly, because they're like, I'm coming in this lane.
Yeah, right, dude.
Like it or not, pal, I'm coming through.
Yeah.
All right, I found a few.
That can get annoying.
Do you believe they actually had to remind people to don't leave their pets? I said, well, you got to be a fucking scumbag animal owner
Right?
to leave your fucking pet at home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude. You can't just leave an animal. I mean, just leave. I'd rather leave stuff that. I'd rather leave half of my accordions. If I had an animal that I loved, I would rather take my animal than half of my accordions.
Yeah.
I love the fuck out of those damn things, and I've had them a long time.
I feel bad, and it was the first time I actually thought about it because I always thought, all right, animals, cats, dogs, whatnot. What do you do, guys, if you have one of those really nice fucking like saltwater tank fish setups or something and you love your fish, right? Because they're your pets. You had them for years and years. There's got to be something you could do with that, but what do you do with that?
Just throw a lithium battery in the salt water. My God, man. Like, I've been hearing about all these explosions because of the fucking hurricane bringing in seawater and shit.
Oh, you wait till Thursday into Friday night.
God damn, there's going to be a lot of electric vehicles blowing up.
So this will actually be like one of the biggest. They're claiming right now that it's the most strongest force on Earth right now, according as weather.
Yeah.
That the world is that we've witnessed in 100 years. I'm sure there's been worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is interesting. But see, the funny thing is, though, since they just got whacked, now they're getting whacked with this one. I mean, while this one's stirring up, I bet you this one creates another one.
Oh, dude.
Right on the tail. Usually, this is a second in a row, right off the tail. I think this one will be so big, it'll probably stir up a lot of fucking tropical shit.
You have 3 times the charm.
That's it.
Jeez.
You know.
And I bet you if anybody has any kind of brain, they're getting the fuck out of Dodge when it comes to Florida.
Well, they're insane in the brain busker, you see.
Yeah, there's a lot of insane the membrane out there if they're gonna stick around.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they want to commit suicide in the most probably the most terrible way possible, or one of
Yeah.
the most terrible ways possible, or self delete. I meant to say self
And I
delete.
always hate too, like you always see like these bigger, beautiful yacht boats. You know, we're talking like 40 plus feet boats, right? Kind of boat you need a little bit of a captain's license to operate. I mean, it could have been so easily just go to the boat, start it the fuck up, and stop going south. And start you could steer around the damn thing and just you know what I'm saying? And you see all these big, beautiful boats that's gonna get fucked up. We're gonna see all images of that. I mean, if I had a boat down there, you know, they just leave them.
Well, the
Meanwhile,
boats, the houses, everything, man.
well, the house is one thing, but just, you know, take your shit, jump on the boat. Right now, if I was like anywhere down around like the Naples Marco, I'd probably if I had a boat, I'd just head down towards the Keys and just keep going south until this thing passes through. Then you bring your boat back. That's what the cruise ships do. All these cruise ships are blasting out of fucking Tampa right now. They're getting the fuck out. There's going to be no cruise ships on the East Coast. In fact, most of them now, I think the last stops are going to hit is Key West and then Miami, and then they'll be done.
Yeah, man. I bet a lot of people are trying to get their boats the fuck out of there.
But now, what would be cool if you're on one of the really cool cruise ships that would do to come back while all this fucking shit's going on, and they say, "Well, we've got a party on for another week until we can get in there, guys." Drinks on us.
All the shit you can eat.
That's insane. Insanity. Yeah.
I'm at least glad to see, because I haven't watched the Weather Channel in a while. Finally, they got these automated fucking sandbag machines and got people operating it, then throwing it instead of these doo-doo people in their fucking black socks and sandals, 87 years old, trying to fucking take a shovel and start filling up white bags that it doesn't even. I don't want to put the sand in the bag, son. You know, I always thought, like, how come somebody didn't have these little portal, but now they have them. Thank God. You know, that's what the count. Well, some places, I guess, they just dump. That's what they used to do. They would just dump a pile of sand, throw a bunch of bags down, say, "Here's a couple of shovels. Good luck." Is what your taxes are paying for.
Good luck. Oh man.
Yeah, I paid. You pay 20 grand in fucking real estate tax, and you get a shovel and a sandbag.
What more do you need?
You know, never mind upgrading the, you know, the drainage systems and the elevation of the fucking state itself. We just like to be right at sea level, like Manhattan. You know, just a sitting duck.
Man, I'll always remember Kamala as the $750 bitch. She, you know, fucking what a bunch.
Well, that was a going rate, I heard. When that, if you gave her $750, she'll at least put the knee pads on for you.
Oh my god. Because the knees they'll hurt.
Y'all don't get my channel shut down for misinformation. They're going after that, especially her.
Don't worry, those pads match her pantsuits. They come in matching varieties. So instead of like the old shoulder pad days, Jeff, right? So she's going for the knee pad look in 25, you know?
Man, dude, you ought to be a comedian or something, dude. Pretty good, man.
Fatty. What's wrong with black socks and sandals? It seems like to be the going right down there. You ever been to Florida lately, Uncle Fatty? You see a lot of these old ass Italians and people. Oh, the black socks and sandals. and I'm going to drive the biggest car and drive as slow as I can in the fast lane with my left blinker on the whole damn time. I got to get home and watch my Matlock. This hurricane is interfering with my programs.
Oh shit. Yeah, man. It's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, and then you get those people that are going to run out of gas on this interstate and shit because they're going to all bottleneck it. Once they hit over through to get onto 95, it's gonna get wild going into this coming weekend. Watching these, just how people react to all of it, let alone all the power going out and all the damage. We're just talking about people just trying to get the fuck out.
Maybe they'll be live streaming it. I would live stream it. There's nothing else to do in the car.
Yeah,
While
just
you're crawling up that interstate,
hey,
I would just be live
drown.
streaming all the people.
Oh yeah, dude. It'll make time go by faster.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've done 12-hour streams before.
Have you guys ever been stuck in a traffic jam? Not a traffic jam. Like a closure on the interstate due to an accident or something really crazy like that. A couple of times I have been. You're out there for free. You just know when, shit, I got to put my car in park now. This is gonna be a long one.
Yeah, the accidents on 95, 695. Yeah.
Then you just start making friends. Everybody gets out of their car. The shit. That's it. Get in where you fit in. Bust out the coolers. Everybody's pissing and shitting all over the road.
Oh man.
Well, not on the road. Everybody goes into the bushes. That's funny. That's funny. Good old hurricane season. It's like football season. I wait for it. Just cheer it on. See what happens with it. It's kind of the same thing. These people need helmets.
Is there a team called the Hurricanes?
Probably.
There's got to be.
Brooklyn had a. I think Brooklyn had a semi-pro team, or was it Queens? I forget. I know they have. Hurricanes got to be something. Well, the Miami Hurricanes.
The Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, right. Yep. Yeah, there you go. Well, there you go. They're asking for it, Jeff. See? They call themselves after what's going to get them in the end.
Right. Why? If I was a hurricane.
And their color is orange like Trump. Go figure, she. That's the Matrix. I'm putting it all together.
Oh, my God.
See, that's what they didn't tell you in that movie, right, Jeff? There's an orange pill. There's an orange pill to it. There's a red, there's a blue, and then there's an orange. That's an orange. Yeah, there you go. That's the state's fucking produce.
Oh shit.
Tropicana. That's it. I would just go over to Hollywood, Florida about this time. Just blow all my money at the casino and just wait for this thing to fucking hit us on the head.
Watch all the cash fly and all the chips. And all the slot machines and they'll fill up with water.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever see some of that video footage of Las Vegas getting hit with a lot of rain? Like they got hit with like a flash flood years ago.
Man.
You could YouTube up a video. I'm sure it won't hit you. But they showed like the ceiling, like these, all the water just pouring down all over the fucking the table games, the slot machines.
Oh shit! What year was this?
Just
kind of
just look up like flash flood Las Vegas casinos. I mean, there's probably got to be a million of them. Damn. But there was one recent one that hit them. When I say recent, it's probably been a couple of years. That
was a hurricane that did that.
No, it was they don't get hurricanes out in the desert, but I think it was a flash flood, in the desert or something like that. They get a lot of that.
It did that when I was there a few times.
Yeah, flash floods are wild, and
Yeah, I mean, they're around here. I guess they're everywhere, but I guess they're worse in some places. I never heard of one that deep. It would I guess it was at a bridge, and the water went off the bridge and fell on top of the casino.
No, it's that I think some of the like some of the casinos, they're like 5, 6 floors under the ground where you don't realize it. Like you think when you walk into a casino, it's like ground level, but most of them go down deep.
Oh, okay.
Like you come in and then it's like you going down an escalator, or a lot of them do that.
All
So
right.
most of the casino floors were like,
So they were underground, and they got fucked.
yeah, like you don't realize that you're underground in that section, but the ceiling where the ground is, and you're so low, the ceiling opened up and just rained on everybody. That's how down.
Oh my
Down
god.
the
Well,
building.
how many were people like really injured and
Nah,
deleted?
I don't think so. But you can see that, like the chandeliers and shit, like falling on a couple of those, blackjack tables.
Oh yeah, like oh man, that's got to be crazy.
Yeah.
Chandelier
Yeah, there
fall.
was nobody there like playing it when they just started cording it off, and then, well, all right, we'll just put the wet floor signs out first. Oh shit, the wall's starting to break. Put up the yellow caution tape. Well, maybe we should call the fire department. There's steps to it. Nice level.
Shit, that's funny. Oh man.
A lot of people are going to run out of gas on that highway. I guarantee it. It
Speaking
always
of,
happens.
I'm
There's
running
always,
out of
there's
gas.
always the idiot that jumps on with like a quarter tank of gas and think he's going to go. And that's it. He's done. And no one's going to give him gas because they're going to say, fuck you. We need it.
Yeah. Well, it's good talking to you guys. I gotta skip. It's like two. Well, it's almost two.
All right, Busker.
All right, take care, Busker.
Thanks for having me. And
You too.
Then it was just me.
Yep. Just you have anything you want to leave us with?
No, I'm just glad I came up.
No.
Give you guys a, give you guys a little, I don't know, say hello. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm glad you came up too.
Yeah.
I always
And
enjoy.
it was funny too, because just when I was thinking, I was like, "Man, what's going on?" I looked at the clock. I said, "It's 1:11." I said, "Yeah, I'll jump on for a few. Say hello to these guys."
Yeah,
Nothing
I
else
always
going
enjoy a
on.
visit from Vinny. That's not many people say that. I don't think.
No.
I'm looking forward to my visit from Vinny.
And in the beginning, trust me, I had a lot of people block that motherfucker. But thanks, Jeff. Have a good one. But yeah, keep your eyes on. You'll catch some of that. You watch the Weather Channel or something. You'll see these people. That's all they're focusing on is
I looked for some traffic cams, but
yeah.
none
Look
of
at the
them were
Weather
live.
Channel
Like
and
they were all during the day.
yeah. Look at like the live Weather Channel. These got these people, and they got like that. They keep adding a box with another. So you see, there's one box. I was like, wow, what is that big red laser light? And I said, oh shit, that's a whole mile streams long. I mean, of just red taillights, people on the brakes. But
Mega box.
all right, man. I'll see you later, brother.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Vinny.
All right,
Take care. You have a good one. All right, that was pretty good for the night. I am unplugging from the Matrix and getting my ass back into my little pod and um, replenishing my biological vessel. And then I'll be back tomorrow for more of this. I think if okay, this is the difference. There's two movies that can illuminate the panelverse for you. There's Slacker, which is my panelverse, just random interesting conversations all day long. Or there's the fucking Matrix, the millennials' vision of the panelverse. So I'm trying to reconcile those two. I'm trying to understand the millennial version first, because I think that's the one that shows up here most. I'm on this panel thinking I'm slacking, and the millennials on here thinking they're unplugging from the Matrix or plugging into it or something. So, like I said, millennial psychology and the Matrix. Solve one, you solve the other. All right, so, oh, by the way, the next movie we're going to do, the whole time I was watching The Matrix, I'm like, why don't they use 12 Monkeys? Why is that not the movie? that defined a generation. Why did it have to be this Matrix movie? So I'm gonna go back and watch 12 Monkeys tomorrow because I think that's as a Gen Xer, I think that is a better presentation of whatever the Matrix was trying to do. So I'm gonna watch the Gen X version of the Matrix tomorrow. It's called 12 Monkeys. And Fatty, you're right, because Natural Born Killers was like a year before, along with Pulp Fiction, and there's a whole series of like Bonnie and Clyde Gen Xers. So in the late '80s, early '90s, you had the like depressed Gen Xers at high school, like fuck the world, we're doing our own thing. And in 94, 93, 94, 95, they all grow up and they decide they're on this Bonnie and Clyde killing spree. And so you get those kind of rebel, like the Gen X outlaw rebels. So it just intensifies that detachment from the system and the nihilism. So you're right. Maybe after 12 Monkeys, Natural Born Killers, um, Pulp Fiction. There's one called Love in a 45. Came out about the same time. I think we'll do the Gen X like Bonnie and Clyde because that's when it gets really goblin. And I think that's when Gen X starts to become aggressive and turn that outward toward the world. It's less about doing our own thing, like creating our own world within the darkness, to actually reacting and responding and internalizing and becoming the darkness and directing it outward. Because we were the darkness all along. The darkness was us. It wasn't the world, the adults, the system. It was us. And I think Natural Born Killers. Of course, that's a whole parody spoof of the whole thing. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Tomorrow, 12 Monkeys. And then we'll get into the Gen X crime sprees. I love the soundtrack. I love the opening credits. Anyway, okay, yeah. Tomorrow, the day of the 12 monkeys, the army of the 12 monkeys. All right, take care, everybody. I'm off. See you the next one. Vegas? Was it Leaving Las Vegas with Johnny? Yeah, that's another one. That came out the same time as Stigmata. All right, take care, everybody. I'm out. Stay in hell. Go to hell and stay there. We'll figure out. Gen X is helping me revisit this whole hell concept. We'll see where it leads.